You did not come to this place by mistake. It was not a random moment or a quick choice made without thought. Something deeper brought you here. Even when you believed you were only moving ahead because life was pushing you, I was already leading each step, setting every detail in place, and preparing this very moment where you are now reading these words. Nothing hath been done without purpose. Nothing has been left to chance. Before you said your first word, before you knew what it meant to walk through life, I already knew your name. I knew your fears, your desires, the struggles you would meet, and also the victories you still cannot see. I have counted your quiet nights. I have seen the thoughts hidden deep inside you, and I have heard prayers that never came out of your mouth. And still, here you are held, live, and moving forward. I want you to understand something from the start. You are not late. You did not lose your chance. You were not thrown away. Even when many times you felt that time was moving for others, but not for you. Even when you compared your journey with theirs and thought something was wrong with you, you were never outside the plan. Every season had meaning, even the ones you could not understand. Today I speak to you clearly because this moment matters. There are choices that grow in silence, changes that begin where no one can see, and transformations that are born long before they appear. And what is starting inside you now is bigger than you think. Do not make it small. Do not ignore it. Do not treat it like something common. For a long time, you have carried questions that had no answer. You have wondered if it was worth continuing to believe, if the effort had meaning, if anyone truly saw what you gave without getting anything back. And even when everything around you seemed careless, you were never alone. Even when you thought heaven was quiet, I was still working. Even when you doubted yourself, I did not doubt you. There is a strength beginning to rise inside you. It is not noise, not a short emotion, not a brief excitement. It is a deep belief that is beginning to form. Something within you is waking up after staying asleep for a long time. And that awakening has not come to confuse you. It has come to bring you into order. You have passed through seasons where simply surviving was already a victory, moments where getting up each day needed more courage than you wanted to admit. And no one saw those inner battles. No one clapped for your quiet strength, but I was there. And because you stayed, because you did not let go, even when you did not understand, a new change now begins. I want you to listen with care, not in a hurry. Do not run ahead trying to find the ending, because this process moves step by step. Every word is meant to reach a certain part of your story. Do not read only with your mind. Let your inner being also receive it. Some truths are not only understood, they are known inside. I have seen how you tried to stay strong when you were truly tired, how you smiled so others would not worry while you felt empty within. I have seen how you gave more than you had, and still felt like you were not enough. But your worth was never decided by what others could notice or accept. Your worth has always been marked by my purpose. You are not destroyed, you are in process. You are not lost, you are being led. You are not stuck, you are being prepared. This is not a message just to entertain you or give short comfort. It is an invitation to see your life from a higher place. For too long you looked at your situations as limits, when they were actually tools. Every hard moment shaped your character. Every delay made your roots stronger. Every rejection protected you from roads that were not meant for you. There is something I need you to understand now. Not everything that hurt was a mistake. Not everything that ended was a loss. Some things had to break so you would not remain small. Some people had to leave because they could not walk with you toward where you are going. And although you did not understand it at the time, you are now starting to see more clearly. Your story is not defined by what went wrong, but by what you are learning to build with what stayed. And what stayed is enough. It always was. Inside you, there are resources you have not used yet, abilities that have not awakened yet, and a strength that will show itself at the right time. This is a turning point, not always because everything changes at once, but because you are changing inside. And when that happens, everything else begins to fall into place again. Priorities change, choices become more careful, and the inner voice becomes clearer. Do not rush, do not force anything. What is coming will not need to be pushed. It needs to be received. And to receive, you must first release. Release the guilt for not being who you thought you should have been. Release the pressure of fulfilling what others expected from you. Release the thought that you must prove your value. You do not need to convince anyone. You do not need to compete, and you do not need to explain your process. This is a new beginning, even if it does not look like one. It is an inner change, a quiet alignment that will bring visible fruit at the right time. And when that happens, you will know it was not by chance that you arrived here. Today, do not disconnect. Do not leave this moment. What comes next will go deeper. And this is only beginning. You are still here, and that already says a lot about you. Not everyone is willing to stay when something starts to touch what had been hidden inside. Many people choose distraction. They run away. They fill quiet moments with noise so they do not have to face what they really feel. But you are not doing that. You are staying. And staying shows that you are ready for something deeper. I want you to understand this clearly. What you have gone through did not make you weaker. It shaped you. Every experience, even the ones that felt unfair, was forming a kind of sensitivity that now becomes strength. Some people move forward fast but without depth. You have been built in the unseen, and that carries a weight not everyone can hold. You have passed through times when you questioned your value because others did not know how to protect it, when you gave loyalty and received coldness, when you trusted and had to learn from the pain. And even though those moments left marks, they did not define you. They were lessons, not final judgments. The pain was not the end of your road. It was part of your preparation. There is a difference between being held back and being made ready. And for a long time, you confused silence with being left alone. You believed that if nothing was moving, then nothing was happening. But while everything looked quiet outside, a foundation was being formed inside you, and now it is beginning to support you in a new way. Your sensitivity is not weakness, and your depth is not too much. The way you feel is not a fault. It is part of what makes you different. You have tried to fit into places where your true self was too large for small rooms. You made your voice smaller, your light softer, your dreams less visible, just so others would not feel uneasy. But that ends here. You were not made to live halfway. You were not created to hide who you are. You were not born only to survive, but to live with purpose. There are choices you are about to make, even if you do not fully know it yet. Changes are coming that may not be loud, but they will be final. You will begin to say no to what you once accepted because it felt normal. You will begin to choose with more care, and even if it feels uncomfortable at first, it will also bring freedom. Brothers and sisters, I want to speak with you sincerely for a moment. Right now, our channel has been demonetized, which means YouTube is no longer providing support for this ministry. Yet despite this season, our mission to spread the word of God continues without hesitation. There is a devoted team behind these videos, faithfully serving day and night. As the one leading this ministry, I carry the responsibility of supporting them, but without ad revenue. Continuing this work has become more challenging than ever. If these messages have blessed your heart in any way, I humbly ask you to prayerfully consider supporting this ministry. Your gift through Ko-fi helps us keep sharing the gospel and shining His light. You can find the link in the description or pinned comment. We are truly thankful for your love, prayers, and support. And now, let us return to the message. For a long time, you carried duties that were not yours to carry, guilt that did not belong to you, and expectations that others placed on you. Without noticing it, you began to live to hold things together on the outside while your inner self was asking to be seen. Today that starts to change. Today the center returns to where it belongs. Not everyone who moved away abandoned you. Some simply finished their season, and holding on to what has already ended only slows down what is trying to begin. Learning to release is not losing, it is creating room. And room is needed for something new to come in. This process is not about becoming someone else, but about returning to who you always were before fear, rejection, or hurt tried to shape you. There is a version of you that has not been damaged by wounds, a true part of you that remains whole, waiting to be seen. You are starting to notice that you no longer respond in the same way, that certain things that once affected you no longer have the same power. Not because you have become uncaring, but because you are more aware. And awareness brings control. Where there is clear understanding, confusion cannot remain the same. You are not losing sensitivity. You are gaining wisdom. You are not becoming hard. You are becoming stronger. You are not moving away. You are coming into alignment. This is a time when your inner knowing becomes sharper, when you will learn to listen not only to what is spoken but also to what is felt, when you will recognize when something agrees with your truth. You will no longer need so many outside explanations, because your inner self will begin to confirm what is real. There will be times when you look back and feel surprised by how much you have changed. Not because you stopped being yourself, but because you now live within yourself with more respect. You no longer exchange your peace for approval. You no longer betray yourself just to belong. You no longer silence what matters to you. Trust this process, even when you cannot explain it. Trust the changes happening without notice. Trust the pauses, the quiet moments, the inner adjustments. Not every step forward is loud. Some of the most important changes happen in peace. Stay aware. Do not rush. Do not go back because of old memories. What is coming will need a version of you that is more awake, more whole, more present, and that version is already rising. Now that you have reached this point, it is important that you understand something honestly. Not everyone is willing to walk through the level of awareness you are entering. That is why this path can sometimes feel lonely, not because you are being left apart, but because you are being refined. Clarity often lowers the noise, and when the noise is gone, only what truly matters remains. You have spent a long time trying to understand why certain doors did not open, why some roads seemed to close again and again, even when you did everything right. But not everything that is right is useful, and not everything that is available fits your purpose. Some things did not grow because if they had, they would have limited you later on. Your life is not being delayed, it is being guided. And although guidance sometimes brings uncomfortable turns, those turns protect you from greater harm. You see pieces, separate moments. I see the full road. I see where you start and also where you will arrive. And trust me, you would not want to reach the end without first being made ready. You have felt the heaviness of comparison. You saw others moving ahead and thought you were being left behind. But not every process has the same pace or the same reason. Some things grow quickly and break quickly. Others grow slowly and stand strong. You are one of those who grow roots before showing fruit. There are things inside you that could not bloom in the place where you were. That is why certain seasons came to an end. It was not punishment, it was protection. It was not loss, it was being moved to the right place. Sometimes the greatest act of love is taking you out of a place where you can no longer grow. This is a time when your priorities start to settle into order by themselves. What draws you is no longer the same. You no longer accept what is shallow. You begin to look for depth, honesty, and truth. And that changes your talks, your choices, and even the way you see the world. Do not be worried if some relationships begin to feel colder. Not every distance is a break. Some distances are needed adjustments. There are people who can only walk with you to a certain point, and that is okay. Not everyone is meant to go with you through every stage. Your value does not become less because someone cannot follow your inner pace. Your light does not fade because others choose to stay in the half-dark. You are not being proud by choosing yourself. You are being responsible with yourself. A new strength is being formed inside you. It is not hardness, it is steadiness. It is not coldness, it is balance. You are learning to answer from awareness and not from old wounds. And that makes a very big difference. You begin to notice patterns you once repeated without asking questions. Situations that looked different but always ended the same way. And now, instead of reacting at once, you stop, watch, and choose in another way. That is where real change begins. You do not need to understand every step before you move forward. Sometimes clear understanding comes after you start walking. What matters is that you no longer walk without seeing. An inner guide is being awakened, a compass that begins to point clearly toward what fits you and what does not. You have been stronger than you think. You have carried more than others know. And still, here you are, ready to keep growing. I chose a strength that is not learned from books or gained easily. It is shaped through life, through pain, through quiet effort, and through moments when you kept going even when no one saw how much it cost. This process is also teaching you to rest without guilt, to stop for a while without feeling that you are failing, and to understand that your worth is not measured only by how much you do, but by what is true inside you. You do not need to prove anything to deserve to move forward. There will be moments when the past tries to get your attention, memories, doubts, and older versions of you wanting to take their place again. Do not fight with that. Watch it. Be thankful for what it taught you, and keep going. You no longer need to live in what you have already understood. You are entering a season where clarity matters more than speed, where peace is worth more than approval, where inner truth has more power than outside noise. And even if this path is not always liked by others, it is real. Trust what is becoming steady within you. Not everything needs an answer right away. Some things only need time. And you are learning to honor that pace. Keep moving forward calmly. Do not look back with guilt, and do not look ahead with fear. This road opens step by step, and what comes next will keep taking you deeper. Now I want you to feel something very important. What you are going through is not by accident. Every pause, every fall, Every quiet season has a greater purpose. Even what looked like loss, emptiness, or failure was meant to make room inside you. What you believed was closing was actually preparing the ground for something much greater. For years you have looked for clear signs, fast answers, and quick results. But there is a kind of growth that only happens in the unseen, in what cannot be noticed at first. There, deep inside you, strong foundations are being built that will hold what is still to come. And even if human time feels slow to you, every moment counts, every detail matters, every heartbeat is seen and valued. Your faith, even when it felt small, had been enough. You kept hope alive when reason said everything was lost. You kept walking when your strength felt too weak, and that was not ignored. Every effort planted, every tear cried in secret, every prayer that others did not hear carries lasting value. I have recorded it all. I want you to feel sure that you are not alone. There is no moment when my eyes are not on you. There is no instant when my hand is not holding you. Even when you feel weak, even when you feel unsure, I am there. Even when everything looks messy, I am working behind the scenes, moving pieces you cannot see, changing situations that still seem impossible to change. You do not need to rush or force what is coming. This is a time of active waiting. Active waiting means staying steady while trusting what you cannot yet see. It means obeying even when results do not appear right away, keeping faith when others have lost theirs, and continuing when everything seems to say that giving up would be easier. That waiting is not empty, it is planned. Your past, with all that it carries, does not decide who you are. You are not the outcome of your mistakes, your losses, or the opinions of other people. You are more than all of that. You are a work still being shaped, a story still being written, a person with purpose, direction, and a future greater than what you can see today. Every tear you planted is ready to be changed into blessing. Every sacrifice, every effort, every quiet night will be answered in the right way. There are doors opening even now, although you cannot yet see them. Roads are being made ready for you. People are being placed so they can meet you at the exact right time. Everything is coming together, even what once seemed separate. Nothing you have lived has been wasted. Not your failures, not your doubts, not your tears. Everything has been part of a greater work that is now beginning to show itself. Do not be afraid of the changes coming near. Do not run from the change that is starting inside you. Some of the patterns that once ruled your life are falling apart so a new structure can rise, one that is stronger, clearer, and more in line with your purpose. It is not punishment, it is freedom. It is not loss, it is gain. What leaves your life does not come back. What enters is meant to stay. Begin to trust what you cannot see. Begin to feel sure that the unseen is already working for your good. You do not need to understand every step. It is enough to know that everything is part of a plan that knows you better than you know yourself. And though your mind wants to explain everything, your heart will begin to know the truth without needing outside proof. There is a spiritual awakening that happens when you understand that not everything depends on you, that some victories only come when you let the divine work, that some answers only appear when you stop trying to control everything. Today is a day to let that greater power move in your life freely, without limits, without fear. This process is not only for your own good. What you are receiving, what you are growing inside you, will also become a path for others. The change happening quietly within you will reach farther than you. Your words, your actions, your example will begin to touch the people around you in ways you may not always measure, but they will be real and lasting. Do not look at what others do or say. Do not compare yourself with those moving at another pace. Do not let outside views decide your faith. What matters is your connection with your inner truth, with your purpose, with what is being formed inside you. The patience you are building now will become the base of your strength tomorrow. Stay steady. Keep watching your heart. Let the inner guide carry you beyond what your eyes can see. There is power working in the unseen. There is a plan that does not fail. There is a destiny waiting for you, and nothing and no one can block it when the time is right. You are not alone. You are not forgotten, and you are not stuck. Everything that seems still now begins to move, and what moves does so with intention, timing, and purpose. Prepare yourself. What comes next is greater than you imagined. And though your mind cannot fully hold it yet, your spirit is already feeling the arrival of something eternal. What is starting to take shape inside you is not shallow. It is not a quick urge or a feeling that will soon pass. It is a deep rebuilding that will reach every part of your life. That is why it matters that you do not ignore it. Do not make it small, and do not let rushing or outside pressure disturb this process. Every detail matters. Every moment is part of the work being done. Your heart has been tested, and although some wounds looked impossible to heal, each one is now becoming a seed of strength. Every failure that made you feel unsure, every disappointment that seemed to cut your wings, every rejection that hurt more than you thought it would, is being changed into lesson and power. The life that once seemed dark is ready to receive light. Do not stop to measure your strength or compare your progress with someone else's. Your progress cannot be judged by rules that belong to another person. Your growth is your own and is being formed at a pace that only you and I know. No speed can replace the maturity that is now happening. No shortcut can copy what is being built inside you. I want you to feel sure about this. What looked impossible is now beginning to line up for your good. Doors that closed because of fear or mistake will open with clear purpose. Roads that did not seem to exist will appear. Chances you could not yet see will begin to meet the preparation inside you. Everything has a right time, and that time is now. Do not ignore the signs within you. That quiet voice, that silent knowing, that peace that comes in the middle of uncertainty, it is guidance. Do not make it small. Do not call it chance. It is the compass that will keep you steady when the world tries to pull your attention away. Learn to know the difference between what feeds your purpose and what takes you away from it. That clarity will be a gift of great value. Some changes will happen inside, unseen by others but needed for what is coming. Others will happen outside, clear and surprising, showing that what is unseen always has power to change what is seen. Your change is not only for you, it will also become light for those around you. People will notice the difference and may not explain it, but you will know it was real, deep, and done with purpose. A time of restoration is arriving now. What was broken will be rebuilt with strength. What seemed lost will return as blessing. What was taken from your life by mistake will come back under a perfect design. All of this is happening because the faithfulness kept in the unseen now begins to appear. Do not be afraid if this process feels intense. Some emotions you thought were sleeping will wake up. Some memories that seemed closed will return so they can be understood and healed. Do not run from the inner truth that rises. Face every feeling with courage, because it is part of the alignment you were waiting for. You have passed through tests that seemed without end. You faced lonely nights, moments when you felt no one understood you, and still you did not give up. Every step you took, whether small or quiet, was planting good ground for the harvest that now begins to show. Even what seemed useless had a purpose, yet ready to receive. Not with fear, but with a prepared heart. Not with doubt, but with trust. Not with human hopes, but with an open heart toward the divine. What is coming does not depend on what can be seen outside, but on the faithfulness within you. What is coming is not because of your outward actions, but because of the work that has been done inside you from the very start. Begin to see your life with fresh eyes. Begin to understand that every situation, every person, every experience was placed there for a reason that is now being shown. What seems separate will come together perfectly. What seemed unfair will begin to make sense. And what seemed small will be seen as important for your growth. It is time to leave behind worry about quick results. What appears too fast can also fade too fast. What grows deep, what is formed with patience lasts. Your faith, your patience, and your honesty will be the base of everything that is beginning to happen. There are hidden blessings that will begin to appear. Blessings in your work, blessings in your relationships, blessings in your personal life. What seemed impossible to reach will be reached. What seemed far away will come closer. And what seemed like waiting without end will become the right time for things to appear. Do not lose heart because of short-term obstacles. Every challenge has meaning. Every test is shaping you, making you stronger, and bringing you into line to receive what you have been waiting for. Nothing is lost. Nothing is wasted. Everything that looked like delay is now careful preparation. Everything that looked like unfairness is now a place ready for your blessing. This is a time of growth. Do not fear growing. Do not fear taking space. Do not fear shining, because everything that was held back by fear, doubt, or lack of faith now begins to move for your good. What once seemed far now starts to come near. What once seemed impossible now starts to become real. Stay watchful, stay steady, stay in line with the inner truth that is already speaking to you. Do not ignore what your heart knows. Do not miss the chances that come quietly. What you are receiving is preparation for a level beyond what you expected. What is being awakened now will place you in a position of purpose and authority that you had not imagined. This is a time of both showing and changing. What you see, what you feel, what you are learning to notice, all of it is part of a perfect plan. Do not let doubt or impatience damage what is being formed. Every step, every choice, every clear thought matters. Everything is adding up toward a result that will be seen, felt, and lasting. What is coming cannot be stopped. What is waking inside you cannot be ignored. What you are beginning to understand in your heart is real, firm, and eternal. Prepare to receive with faith, because the work that began in the unseen now begins to show itself in the visible. What you are starting to sense inside you is not chance, not a short feeling, and not a thought that will soon pass. It is a call to see your value and to understand that your life was made with purpose. Everything you thought was missing, every hope that was not fulfilled, every dream that seemed to grow weak is being brought into place so it can become real. What once looked like delay is now perfect preparation. You have learned to stand. You have learned to rise even when the world seemed not to care. You have learned that your strength is not measured by a life without trouble, but by your ability to stay firm while facing it. And that strength will not be ignored. It will be seen for what it is. It is proof of your faithfulness and of a heart ready to receive what had been prepared for you. Do not compare yourself with others. Do not let their roads or their success decide your pace. Every life has its own time, its own process, and you are exactly where you need to be. Sometimes patience is stronger than rushing. Sometimes silence is worth more than a quick answer. Everything has its right time, even what appears to take long. There will be times when you feel unsure, even doubtful. That is normal. It does not mean the process has failed, but that something inside you is moving toward a higher level of understanding. Doubt is the door that comes before full faith. Inner struggle prepares your heart to receive blessings that can only be understood with a mature spirit. Everything you thought was lost is being restored. Relationships that became weak, opportunities that seemed closed, dreams that had lost their light. All are being renewed with a plan greater than any expectation. Restoration does not come late. It comes at the exact moment when your steps, your heart, and your faith are ready to receive it. Do not make small what is happening inside you. Do not ignore the quiet movements, the thoughts that rise, the clarity that starts to appear. All of this is proof that something greater is happening. What is being built inside you is not shallow, not temporary, but lasting, deep, and eternal. You will learn to let go of what no longer helps you without guilt and without fear of loss. Letting go is not giving up. It is making room for what truly needs to enter your life. The people, situations, habits, and feelings that were holding you back will be replaced by what supports your purpose. Change can be hard, but it is always needed for what is true to grow. Your inner sense is being sharpened. You will begin to know what agrees with your path and what only distracts you. You will no longer depend only on the opinions of others or on outside noise to make your choices. Your inner guide will become clearer, stronger, and more trustworthy. That clarity will become a light that keeps you steady even in the middle of the storm. Do not fear the strong feelings that rise again. Do not run from the memories that return to your mind. Every feeling, every memory, every experience that comes up now has a purpose: to show what needs to be healed, released, or understood. It is not punishment. It is alignment. It is not a weight. It is teach you. It is not chance. It is design.